An explosion. That's what I assumed had happened. It was early morning and my ears were still ringing. I didn't really understand what was happening until something clicked in my brain. Bomb. I got up and looked around. Dust and debris surrounded me. I thought about run because more bombs could fall, but something stopped me. Shin, my brother. Where was he? When the buzzing stopped, I could hear a cry and I saw him. I ran towards him, and when I arrived I saw that he had a beam wooden on his leg. Haruki! Haruki! I screamed desperately. I tried to lift the beam, but it was too heavy. I was trying and trying until I saw Mr. Ichiro, the 50-year-old man who took us in when we lived in the cold streets of Hiroshima, run towards me. He helped me. Together we lifted the beam and rushed to get Shin out from under it. His leg was badly injured, and probably broken. Mr. Ichiro lifted him on his back and we fled without any apparent direction. We reached the coast and I could see how the fish were floating in the water. How strong had that bomb really been? I thought. Shin couldn't stop crying, so Mr. Ishiro tried to check his leg, but even with the slightest touch, Shin screamed in pain. About 1 hour later, we could see lights that seemed to come from the police station. I raised my shoulders and started walking towards it. We were crossing the main street of the town where there was still surprisingly one building standing. I kept walking until I realized that Mr. Ichiro had stayed behind contemplating the great disaster that had been established in Hiroshima, and when I realized I did too. How many people? I thought. How many children, newborns, women, animals? How much destruction? And I also thought about Mr. Ichiro. This place saw him grow, develop, adventure, discover, play, love, and all that was destroyed. A moment later I heard the building next to us creak. A man was thrown out of it, without seeing anywhere, which caused him to trip over Mr. Ichiro, who fell to the ground due to the impact. And on top of him, the building. I was in shock. I couldn't move and Shin could only start screaming. The man who had picked us up from the street, the one who had given us a home, the one who gave us a coat, after we lost everything back then, buried under the rubble of a building, and with it the only person who really cared about us, the only person who loved us. Eventually, a team of rescuers arrived at the building who were able to help Shin, and when he told them about Mr. Ichiro, they tried to search but they couldn't find anything.